There is a flood that is coming, that will not be caused by water, but by a multitude of angry peoples who have had their entire life savings slashed in half just because they haven't taken the necessary steps to prepare beforehand. Over the years, there have been numerous warnings about the approaching financial storm, but only a few have taken heed, and now it is upon us. Even so, it is still not too late to get aboard the safety of the Ark. This Ark that I'm talking about is not built out of gopher wood and pitch, but a financial safety Ark built out of gold and silver and decorated with a basket of cryptocurrencies. In this Ark, you will not find any goats or camels, no snakes, and no giraffes. This Ark will carry people, specifically the wisest among us, which, unfortunately, might be a significantly smaller number in comparison to the lot. Do not be dismayed when you see the current prices of gold and silver, or even the recent capitulation in the crypto markets. Because personally, when I see this level of red, I get more excited than Quagmire at a high school cheerleading contest. The other day, I was even tempted to sell my 2 cats just to get some of that rare $26 Litecoin bargain that was going on at the time. But all jokes aside, we're almost always in possession of something that we do not need, something that we can liquidate and use as capital for investments. I'm aware that usually we think that we don't have anything, but if you were to look around carefully, you will find something. Whether it be that brand new pair of shoes under the bed that you've never worn and probably never will, or a smartphone that you're not using, an old laptop maybe, or even any device or thing that you don't really need and think could be of value to someone else. The markets are so low right now that one don't need a large sum of money in order to procure a substantial amount of cryptocurrencies, or even silver for that matter. Anyone who misses this financial safety boat will only have themselves to blame, for the internet is filled with information on how to get on board. We're at a financial crossroads, which many would agree with me is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This shift that is occurring reminds me of the one that occurred in the decade of the 90s, which was a nexus point for the industrial age and the newly emerging e-commerce internet companies at the time. I think in some ways that this current shift from paper to digital assets will be much bigger than that of the one that occurred in the 90s. I believe that even the money-making potentials will be far greater. And as internet giants Microsoft, eBay, and Amazon produced billionaires, so too will some of these cryptocurrency projects, but like I said, on a much larger scale. These cryptocurrencies will cause some people to even become trillionaires. In conclusion, history has a way of repeating itself. And as there were many mockers and scoffers at the time before the biblical flood occurred, so are there now many naysayers. Just ignore them. For just like this coronavirus came upon us all suddenly, so too will the coming stock market crash and revaluation of currencies. And at that time, only one group of people will be laughing. Can you feel the raindrops already?